Excellent.
Gonna mic down for this, Jordan. Children with wills? Stake for a suicide mission!
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 8. We're talking episode 12. Jarod can't hold the L this week.
Nope.
Unfortunately.
Never doing that again. Technically,
this does make one. But
yeah, that's why I held this up.
To say, is that just how many L's it currently is? Just 1, 2, 3.
If you were to ask Alden, it's 6. I think his math is insane.
But math is math.
No, but it's not. It's math. It is. It's still you can still get the problem wrong.
Yeah, but then it's not the math though, is it?
Yeah, it was. His thing is, okay, he beat me in a straight up sanctioned on the record singles match. We played an exhibition match that does not count against our records, but he won it. Both of these wins were very narrow. We did a drunken, untelevised, except to a handful of people, Iron Man match the night of Thanksgiving this past year. I believe you watched that.
I did watch it, yeah.
Won that. Eli started doing a new entry test, not to gauge whether or not you can or can't compete, but so that he can group people against each other better. And he scored 1 point higher than me, which does not put us out of contention of each other. We are literally in the same weight class. He won the hyperspace gauntlet, which was basically the Epic Confrontations version of Royal Rumble. And I was eliminated while he was on screen, so he counts that as a win against me.
So do I, yeah.
And I hate you for that because I'm sorry. Everybody if that applies to me, that applies to everybody. And I did not.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And I did not lose that match. Eli made me lose it with a really shitty call, and I'm never going to let that go. And
I'm shocked.
and then his other one, well, again, he and Michael beat me and Kaysen in a teams match. So if you ask me, I will give Alden 2.5 wins on me.
That's fair.
I will give him 2.5.
I'm just treating you the same way the English treats every sportsman. If you ain't winning, you're the worst. But when you win, I'll be right there.
I currently have the most wins out of anybody in the league.
That's hard to believe.
And I have the most KOs.
Do you?
Yeah.
But Alden has the belt, though, so
let's talk about this goddamn show.
Yes. Miracles, the value of miracles. A miracle's worth, whichever translation you want to go for. Episode 12. How did you feel about the opening, Jarod?
So funny little behind the scenes. Normally I watch the show by myself.
Taylor joined halfway through the season. Good damn.
Yeah. So we got into, she was eating, we picked up food on our way home. She was eating. I went into our room to watch the episode. As I'm pressing play, she waddles in her comfy clothes because she's been a little under the weather, and she's like, "Hey, I once snuggled. Is it okay? Could you still watch the episode?" I'm like, "Of course." So I'm sitting there, holding her, watching the episode with my phone in my hand, ready to take notes. And the moment I press play, get through the theme song, and I'm dancing, because I do love this theme song. I do love it.
It is a banger.
It's
the banger.
So it is so much fun. My favorite. I told her, here comes my favorite part, where they do the quick flashes of Misato and Commander Ikari and the boo 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 boo. And I was like, I was just kind of dancing, having a good time. And then it gets to the end, and I'm like, all right, here we go. Smash cut 15 years ago. And I said, oh, fuck. Like all the cutesy with, oochie boochie boochie boochie, kind of shit goes away. I go, oh, fuck. And she's like, oh, what's it? Because she's like, oh, I'm not going to go to sleep. My belly hurts. I'm like, okay. And she's out fucking cold before the theme song's over. And I go, oh, fuck. And she goes, oh, what's wrong? And I said, I literally go, second impact. And so, congratulations. It's permeated my relationship. But yeah, so yeah, no, you throw back there. So my first bit that I am intrigued by, that I feel the need to call attention to.
Yeah.
I've said before that the title sequence is edited very well because it is very flashy. It's very fun. But it does a great job of giving you vibes with no context. And there's a small number of things that happen in that intro that like my eyes have been able to lock onto and be like,
I believe I know exactly what you're talking about.
What's that all about? One of them was the atom thing, stuff like that. So and it was funny because in our last episode, it was just something that caught my eye because I've noticed it every time. I'm like,
is it by chance the bright orange screen with a certain? Your face says no, so I'm going to sharpen that one.
No.
Oh.
It's that it looks like Shinji's Eva gets wings similar to.
Oh yeah, that's the
burst of energy.
Yeah, because the screen is orange behind him.
Oh, okay. See, I've just noticed that it's his Eva with the wings. So I'm like, again from the beginning, I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. They can fly. Like again, some type of energy projection, hard light, maybe all the way back at the beginning when I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. And it was funny because last week I almost mentioned, I'm like, I am really curious about when the wings are going to be a thing. Because again, that's been another reason why I've if angels and Evas have to be connected somehow, because it has literal angel wings, which is something I've just never brought up, but I've been thinking about a lot. And then the episode opens, again, we're in the Arctic and all hell's breaking loose and it's all scary, and we see, the into the sky, at which point, I said, so first note is flashback, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point. And then the fuck are those wings?
What the fuck are those wings?
So very interesting. Okay. So here's the question. And again, yes, no, can't answer. This will be answered. Just wait. However is most easily answered here. I am getting the vibe that something did impact the Earth and then Nerve fucked with it. And then there was an explosion, and then calamity happened. Is this an accurate assessment? Okay.
It's what the show's told you, yeah.
Okay, that...
That wasn't me saying that just to fuck with you. That is 100% what the show's told you already, yeah.
Okay. So something did impact the Earth. Okay. That's fascinating.
Why else would it be called an impact, Jarod?
Because it's a fucking cover-up. Because they blew something up and said, yeah, and then the ice caps got fucked, so yeah, asteroids and shit.
Why not call it a cover-up?
Huh?
Why not call it a cover-up at that point? Why call it an impact?
I'm saying, for a minute there, I was thinking that they found something and then fucked with it, and then it caused this calamity. And that the easiest way to explain it away would be meteor to cover their asses. I am getting the vibe that there is something that did impact the Earth that they then messed with. But the impact itself did not create the calamity. It was them messing with something that did sincerely impact the Earth. Like, it's just basically adding an extra step to what I thought was going on.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, I mean, it is harrowing. Like, that was this, again, it's something I've noticed where, I don't like to be the person to be like, oh, I can see budgetary constraints and things, because it's like, what are we here for? What are we talking about? What does this matter, really? But like the last 2 episodes where, they did feel kind of, hey, let's put them all in a dark room. There's nothing we have to draw. Hey, everybody's red this episode because we're under lava. We're in the lava, so everything is red. No real coloring needs to be done except for red. And, we're going to put our 3 main heroes in a dark hallway where they're just floating in the void with the occasional wall panel. Nothing wrong with that. And again, do I think it impacts the story that much? Or do I think it impacts the story at all? If, there are some fun little sleight of hand animation things happening there. No, I do not fucking care. And I think there are people who get hung up on that kind of thing in animation and in live action, who make a lot of hay out of it for no reason.
It's also just part of the show, like the way it's shot, for lack of a better word. Because the amount of times they just hold on like an elevator going up.
Mm-hmm.
Like the very first episode where they're going up past Unit 1. It's just like a minute of that and nothing else. Yeah.
But again, the genius of the show in doing stuff like that, though, is that moments like that elevator shot, like it is explaining scale to you. There was also a lot of thematic. There's also a lot of thematic stuff of like, look how grand and big all of this is, and look how small Shinji is by comparison. There's a lot of really cool thematic stuff there. So again, it's not me boohooing it or whatever.
Oh no.
But we see this one, that like the environment they're in is just it is done such a good job of showing. Like, this was an apocalyptic event. This was a catastrophe to the nth degree. And it's terrifying, and, again, you see there, it was, again, a very beautifully cut moment where we get, Misato getting kind of sealed away in that little capsule and then like kind of floating in the ocean, and then hard cut to her getting dressed. And you see a much more pronounced shot of the scar between her breasts. I thought that was very well shot. Again, there was a lot of, in that shot, again, trying to like kind of explore these themes of creation and nature that I think are going to prove to be very prevalent and very core to this narrative. I think that having a character who is, for all intents and purposes, the only mother in the show, like obviously like nobody's mom is present, she very much steps into that role. So taking a motherly figure, so you get all of those mother nature, creation, all of those ideas, and you take these like, kind of symbols of like fertility and childcare with her breasts, and you have this huge gash through it. I think it again is kind of reinforcing a lot of these ideas of like us playing God in the way that we are fucking with nature in doing so. And I just thought that whole opening bit was very beautiful, very well shot. It's presented in a way that is so disorienting that you can't not be in Misato's shoes for it.
Yeah.
Like it has that disorienting, like in the way that you remember like a traumatic memory, that it's either vivid and you're right back there again, or you get like these like flashes, of just like still shots that you just can't unsee for the rest of your days. And we get some of that there with her, and I thought that was really just excellently, brilliantly framed.
It's a great scene.
Great scene. Very curious about the wings that go up into the sky. And I'm gonna be boring. I'm gonna disappoint you. I got nothing.
Got nothing.
I got
for what the wings are.
I got nothing. I mean, again, obviously, Angel. There's wings.
How do you have nothing, Jarod?
It's clearly part of that energy field.
Energy field,
or like the AP field or AT.
Oh, the AT field, yeah.
The AT field, which okay. Can you explain the AT field to me? Like, explain it to me like I'm a fucking idiot.
Can I?
Like, functionally, what it is doing.
It's just like it's literally what it is. It's just a barrier.
It's okay. It's just a force field.
Pretty much.
Okay. It's an energy field. Not.
There's more to it, but it's
Mitch,
like a 5-year-old. It's a force field.
Mitch, don't tell me this show has the force. Don't. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this show to have the force.
Can I make that connection? I was literally reading about the AT field earlier, so it's quite funny. I've been sitting here for 8 weeks now, going, he's not once mentioned the AT field.
Because I just very much interpolated it as, there's weird energy, microwave things happening.
That's fair. That's
creating,
fair.
Yeah. Energy barriers that we can use as shields that the angels kind of passively, organically, put that in big fucking air quotes, because who the fuck knows what that word means with these, or like organically kind of putting in, like they basically feel like there's a force field at play that occurs because of like the molecular makeup of the angels, and then I just kind of took it at that and just kind of went with it on vibes.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
But the AP field, like it's they've been bringing it up more than they have before. Like there was like, it felt like the amount of mentions of this phenomena like increased exponentially in the last 3 or 4 episodes.
They've always mentioned it, I think, when there's an angel about.
Yeah, like it's always coming up when they're about to go into battle, but there was a lot of, if it does this, well, then it does this, and if it does this, well, then we do this, and then and just again, in the last few episodes, it felt like it was getting kind of not wedged or shoehorned into conversation more, but like
it's just getting brought up more.
It felt like they were putting a little bit more of a premium on us hearing about it in a similar way to like the Magi just kind of enter the narrative out of nowhere. And then become.
Well, if you want to know what AT stands for, it does tell you in the intro.
I know, and I'm never fast enough to pause it.
Yeah. Do you want to know what it stands for?
Yes. Please.
Anti-terror. When I say there's more to it, but you wanted to explain like a 5-year-old, it's just a barrier.
Is the more to it spoiler?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
It's not inherently a plot spoiler, but it's like when you asked what this symbol is in the intro. It's like if you went into that, it kind of
starts opening the door to me.
Yeah.
I would very easily be able to like 2 + 2 is 4 + 2 is 6. My way into a plot spoiler.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, and that's fine. I will wait my turn. I am sure that by the time we're done with this, we'll have an episode that is just me just going, okay, so walk me through this, and this thing to make sure I understood it at the end.
Don't worry, we will absolutely talk about the AT fields at some point.
Oh, I'm sure I'm going to love that
anti-terror.
conversation.
You know, you can sit and stew on what anti-terror means.
Well, that's what's so funny to me is that, like, I thought it said anti-terror. I kept thinking I saw that, and I'm like, and they're like the AT field, and I'm like, that can't be the same fucking thing.
Yeah, it is.
I'm like thinking anti-terror, like it's what Nerve's thing is. It's like an anti-terror thing with angels. Anyway, what else do I have here? Next note. I told Mitch this before we started. I think that we need to start signing off every episode with "Have a nice day." They say it in such a particular way that made me very, very happy. It's like that one TikTok that went viral not too long ago that I can't stop quoting. It's become my new like auditory tick. No, it's a hakta. There's this guy whose whole bit, like, he uses this filter that like smushes his face in, and he's like he's like POV, the rapper from your hometown who never left. And he's always just like, "Hey girl, like, what you doing?" Yeah. And like he dropped an actual song that's like, you know, I would slap the baby just to prove I'm not the father. Like, just this whole like screed. It's very funny. But he has this one video that it almost sent me to the hospital. I was laughing so fucking hard. Where he's just sitting there, he's like, Chipotle napkins have a certain girth to them that I enjoy specifically. I will send it to you so you can put it in the episode. But like, I have like would just have a certain girth to them that I enjoy specifically. It's so funny because it's phrased in a way that this character he's created would never speak in.
Yeah.
It has a syntax and a cadence to it that is completely alien to this character he's built. But it's that flavor of like somebody said something in a very particular way.
Yeah.
And I can't stop thinking about it. Not unlike Hakta. Like, to bring it back to that, like I had my first conversation about Hakta with Taylor in the car the other day, and she was like, I think that meme's really stupid and it's gone to a really weird place. And
it has, like, yeah.
And I was like, I tend to agree, but I was like, but you know me, when I hear somebody say something in a very specific way, I will think it's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life for like maybe a week. Such as spit on that thing. Like, it's it's bordering on Laszlo Cravensworth in the delivery with her.
I can see it.
Like all that's missing is the more dramatic long A's, you know, like Hakta, spit on that thing. Like, it's a Jackie Daytona, you know, it's almost there, and like that's why I think it gets in my head. Same thing with have a nice day.
It's almost a little bit of echolalia going on there.
It's what?
Echolalia.
What's echolalia?
It's where you hear something and it just scratches. It just, you know, sparks that neuron in the right way, and then you can't help but repeat it back.
Yeah,
because it's just that, you know, it rubs the brain in the right way.
But it's just so funny the way they say it. I won't harp on this for too long. It's just like the 33 I's in nice followed by them squeaking out day.
Day.
Have a nice day. And it's spelled like DEY almost, like day.
Yeah.
Day. So I'm just saying that needs, like, you need to get that clip, and that's just what ends every show.
I'll do it. Yeah.
But no, so there was also the moment where they're talking about like how their harmonics are leveling up, and the one technician was like, yeah, it's like he was born to do this. And then Misato is like, yeah, he's born to do it. Maybe he's born to do it, but I don't think he wants to. That ship has sailed. Y'all gaslit, gate kept, and girl boss this child into coming back to war for you.
Did they gaslight him?
A little bit. Maybe not gas. Okay, maybe they didn't gaslight him. They certainly love bombed him.
I mean, 100%, yeah.
Which, in the case,
I mean,
of Shinji
Gendo
Ikari,
definitely love bombed him. No, just dangling that tiny little bit of affection in front of him.
and I just need to say, in terms of love bombing Shinji Ikari, the thing with him is that this child has experienced so little love that all it takes is going, "Hey Shinji, we need you," for him to feel like the chosen one. And again, every single adult in the room should feel bad and needs to be raked across the coals for it. But yeah,
disagree.
Asuka's obsession with Kaji is weirding me out more and more every episode.
As it should. Valid reason for it, but as it should. Yeah.
What'd you say?
There's valid reason for it, but as it should.
I'm sure we will learn more about it, and I'm excited to learn the context around it. I am just having a moment where I feel like, here's my thing. I feel like Kaji has a responsibility to tell this child to calm the fuck down around him. And the fact that he hasn't makes me think that he has ulterior motives, and that
he did last week, didn't he? When she's buying the swimsuit,
he said like, someone your age should not be wearing a swimsuit that revealing. Is all he said. That was not him saying, "Hey,
it's
don't."
The way he says it. He kind of snaps.
No, I'm just saying, an adult should have shut this shit down, unless he has an ulterior motive. I'm not saying anything like, BBL
Epstein
Drizzy.
files.
I'm not saying anything like BBL Drizzy about it. But like just a little bit, it feels like he wants to have her wrapped around his finger as a form of insurance. I'm not saying that there's something predatory in a, like I said, Epstein-y Drake kind of way, but in a more, I want to be able to manipulate you, and you have made it aggressively easy for me to do so.
Or maybe he's just learned that she's not going to stop.
But
maybe he's just learned she's not going to stop.
Perhaps. But
there's only so much you can take until you just give up. You're like,
maybe,
all right.
Maybe. Like I said, it makes me feel the ick.
It is.
I don't like it. I do not like it. Upon realizing Commander Ikari was back in the Arctic, in the splash zone from the second impact, I wrote out, "Bitch, why are you out there?" The conversation Commander Ikari has with the other guy. Coming back to all the Bible ideas of it, it felt very Old Testament versus New Testament. It felt very like it felt like these two inconsistent feeling characterizations of God having a conversation with itself, that I thought was really fascinating, with that, very, the flood and all of that, that it was very
cleansed of original sin.
Yeah, cleansed of original sin. And then you get this, just because it had sin does not mean it is irredeemable and deserving of a cleansing. It was, I found that very fascinating. And again,
it's a great conversation to have.
And it's very well written. It's framed very well. Again, they're quite literally swimming through a Red Sea. It is,
and a Dead Sea,
a dead and Red Sea. Like there's a lot happening right there. And again, with how I'm still trying to figure out how everything comes together, Commander Ikari kind of representing this wrathful, vengeful creator, kind of taking on this Old Testament kind of position. Again, it is enhancing a lot of themes. Like, I came away from this episode, like, I don't have any crazy grand theories about this episode. I don't think I got anything that adds to or refutes any evidence I have accrued up to this point. What I can say is that there was a lot of really good theme building here. That there was a lot of really good character work, and there was a lot of good adding more meat to a lot of themes that are already really big and heady. So I liked that. Mitch, question.
Go ahead.
How the fuck did that angel get into space? Or
Same way the angel got in the lava. Same way the angel was in the ocean in episode 8.
So was there just an angel egg
Sure, why not?
incubating in orbit and
Sure,
nobody noticed?
Why not? Sure.
Okay.
Genuinely don't know. It's just it appears in space.
Like that was the one thing I found suspicious. Like that was the like if there's anything I would like to like kind of pluck and like put in my little like evidence folder, it would be the idea that Nerve was like, all right, we're gonna send this one up to space real quick. Oh no, it's here. This is again adding to my theory that this is just an elaborate series of false flag attacks.
Well, the Nerve logo is literally a fig leaf. And what were fig leaves used for? Cover-ups.
Mitch, if I'm Alex Jones, does that make you my Paul Joseph Watson?
Sure. Let's go for it. I'm not in the Alex Jones source, so I have no idea.
Paul Watson. Anyway. So yeah, that was fun. I made the Alex joke. So not realizing what I wanted to bring up next. So I'm gonna have to very deftly walk around some optics here that I just backed myself into. Up top, it is the clear, obvious, right thing to do to evacuate as many people who are going to be caught in the strike zone as possible.
Mm-hmm.
This is obviously the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm. It's a heavy butt coming.
Unequivocally. However, I am not super fond of the fact that this is an AI police state issuing that order. I have a lot of feelings about that.
You only don't like it because it shows that the AI police state is not like mean about it. It cares.
Does it? Does it care? Or is it just crunching the numbers and going, well, we don't want this value to reach 0, this value being human life in fucking Japan. So if this number goes all the way down here, that's a fail state. That does not equate caring. That is just understanding what you were programmed to avoid from happening.
Cares about a number, which in turn is people. So therefore it cares.
Mitch is pro AI. I just want everybody to know that. Mitch is pro AI.
Well, I mean, the not to get political, but we in England we currently
Mitch. I can't even say this show isn't political without laughing. I can't even get it out of my mouth. Like I'm so numb to like, oh yeah, they went and made Star Wars political. Like I can't. Like I'm so used to having to like make that straw man joke that I'm numb to it. I can't look you in the eye after having watched what fucking 12 episodes of this shit and tell you that Neon Genesis Evangelion is an apolitical story.
No, it's biblical.
Which is arguably as political as it gets.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah. Anyway, the joke I was going to make, one of the UK political parties is like apparently using AI candidates or used AI people. So I might be AI. You don't know that.
Oh, I knew that.
What, you knew that they were using AI or that I might be AI?
Oh, that you might be.
Oh. No.
I think the fact that we've only now seen your face is...
You've seen my face before.
Did I?
We have each other on Facebook. You might have seen
I was gonna say I've seen like there's this little like it looks like you were on top of a peephole knocking on my door to deliver.
Well, fun fact:
pizza.
if you click on it, it's the whole thing. So
nobody clicks on it.
I know that's the
it's
joke.
so perfectly circle shaped.
That's why I did it. I was like, "What's the stupidest thing I can do with the Facebook profile picture?" And it just zoomed in that much. I was like, "Cool, I guess it's staying." Anyway, AI can care.
I'm not doing this with you.
Why not?
I refuse.
That's the whole point of this show.
What
are we here for?
So I got a 1-2 punch.
Why don't you like the Magi?
I am against stripping the populace of its free will and supplanting it with manufactured consent and a complete and utter fabrication. Fundamentally,
You wouldn't survive post Second Impact. You would not survive.
Would I not survive, or would I just not know?
I mean, arguably the same thing, but
if
you didn't survive, you're not going to know, are you?
Yeah, just from a certain point of view.
Anyway, you had a 1-2 punch.
I have a 1-2 punch of notes that are in all caps.
Excellent.
And I will read them for you verbatim.
Excellent.
Gonna mic down for this, Jordan. Children with wills? Stake for a suicide mission. That was
very close to being spat out. No.
That was like those two things like made my stomach just curdle in the way like again it's been like, okay, fucking child soldiers, and I'm like slowly getting a little bit more numb to it as the show goes on. Mm-hmm. And then we hit the terminal velocity of Misato going, hey, this one's looking pretty fucking grim. Y'all got wills?
At least she asked. All right.
Hey Shinji, do you have anybody do you want to leave Pen your fucking Pokemon cards? Like,
imagine. Pen deserves it. In fact,
sure he does. Yeah, Pen is the only person in this show I have not wanted to slap in the face so far. Ray.
I was about to say that. Wow, the Ray hate. Wow.
Ray gets a pass too.
Wow. I'm not good. I've introduced this. You're the the third person now, and so far we're 2 for 2 out of Oscar and Ray.
No, I like Ray. I like Ray.
Yeah, 2 for 2. Like split right down the middle. Who prefers Ray? Who prefers Oscar? Because fun fact, this show I know single-handedly sparked the Waifu Wars. So.
Okay, you said a bunch of words that didn't sound like words to me. Can you say those words
right,
again?
Arno is the guy who made Neon Genesis. Hideaki Arno, right? The Waifu Wars are just who's the best girl in a show. Wasn't a thing before this. Ray and Asuka are the originators, the progenitors of the Waifu Wars. Like Xbox and PlayStation.
Yes.
Do you prefer the blue one? Do you prefer the red one? Misato is obviously the PC gamers in the background. No.
Well, I gotta say, since I'm not Aubrey Graham, I think I'm a PC gamer. But
it's not in that sense.
I know. I know. I'm being an asshole.
Filthy pig.
But yeah, no, that was just so jarring and so grim that I was like, Jesus. And that's another thing. Do we find out what exactly? Do we find out exactly what got Misato promoted?
I think it's just what she's been doing, how she's been handling everything.
She's just been kicking ass.
Mm.
Okay, I figured that. I didn't know if something happened like off screen. It was gonna be like, oh yes, Misato actually beat an angel to death with her bare hands.
I've literally never seen it, so I couldn't tell you.
Okay, I was just curious about that. Okay, cool. But no, just like finding out that she is
Colonel Katsuragi.
Major.
Yes, well done. I'm like Shinji. I don't know. I don't spot that stuff. No.
But no, so I was like, okay, she's like, she's in charge of this op, and it's like, okay, like, and I will say, like, she is, and I say here, after stake for a suicide mission, Misato was out.
Then they don't even get, by the way.
No, I mean, they don't get it for very cute reasons because Ray was like,
She
I'll
broke.
come with if we get ramen.
They don't get it because Misato can't afford it. Because she says in the train she got the wad of cash out.
Yeah.
Payday's tomorrow. So she got nothing out. She took them there because she couldn't afford the steak. It's still adorable. Just like, oh, poor guy.
Oh, it is adorable. I mean, Ray had the save there to be like, oh, yeah, I just want ramen anyway. But no, Misato has been, well, okay. I want to say Misato was erratic in a way that was kind of beyond the pale based on her characterization prior to this, is what I want to say. I feel like Jet Alone, that episode.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we got a little bit of that here.
Yeah.
But even then, it wasn't in the auspice of the whole like virulent anti-angel stuff.
Well, no, because you've only just learned about that now, right?
What do you mean?
Hold on.
Because she goes in fucking hot in Jet Alone to deactivate that knockoff Ava and shut it down before it can go critical. Which again, a hothead is a hothead, sure. It's in her character. But Misato kind of plays with the lives of these kids in a way that we really haven't seen her do before, and it just kind of happens to coincide with the moment we find out that she's like super anti-angel pilled, like beyond the I'd like to avoid.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, no. I'm saying you just find that out now that she's like.
I thought you said she just found that out. I thought you said she just found that out. I'm like, no. She just found out that her father was technically killed by an angel. Oh, okay.
You said what, and I was like, shit. If I just said something for next week, or I really couldn't remember.
No. I misunderstood you. That's all.
Yeah, that's cool. Cool. We're on the same page. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's maybe on a rewatch that would feel less jarring.
I feel like it's that situation of you've got that little bit of power. And where you have like a feeling like that against angels in this situation, and you're on your own, you are in charge of everything, you're going to do it your way. Whereas everything else,
which is to throw a Hail Mary with the lives of 3 14-year-olds.
Yes. And
I understand the safest place they can be is inside of those Avas. That's horse shit. I'm sorry.
I mean, is it?
The angel can simply eat them. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, that's a fair point, but
like the angel could simply eat the children.
Yeah, but they're in the Ava, so they can't just simply do it. No.
Okay. It can chompa and like
chompa.
Anyway. So yeah, I also do want to say I love. Again, this is something, anybody who's going back and watching this after these episodes originally air. We've reached the week of the penultimate episode of The Acolyte. And there have been a lot of conversations happening about this show. Some beautiful, some very thoughtful, some butt fuck stupid. A lot butt fuck stupid. And I've experienced a lot of people struggling to understand the idea that a character acting erratically or inconsistently does not mean they're written poorly and that they don't and that like they don't make any sense. You know, it is the crux of most really good character arcs that certain characters do things that are slightly incompatible with their worldview that make them complicated. You know, a great example of that is Hamilton. You know, like people, you know, this is an example that has been talked about to death. But it is the fact that the moment where everything goes wrong at the very end, not everything is just been going wrong for all of Act Two. But the final, like the point of no return for this show at the end when Aaron Burr kills Hamilton in their duel. It is predicated on, in that moment, them completely swapping ideologies. It is predicated on the long game, calculating, you know, I am not standing still, I am lying in wait, Aaron Burr, to adopt the hot-headed, rash, impulsive, in the moment, lead from the front, improvisational ideology of Alexander Hamilton, to not take a step back, to not take a breath, to pull that trigger and shoot that man dead. And Hamilton absorbs all of those things of Burr's that I said earlier, that he's like, I am going to try to just hope and do my best to let the situation come to me and try to de-escalate it and hope that the thing happens the way that I want it to, so that I can continue to work without having to influence it personally too much. And it's that decision that he makes that costs him his life and that destroys Burr's life because he acted too rashly. They both learn, like Hamilton learned the right lesson to be a little bit more like Burr, and Burr went, oh, I'm going to go in the opposite direction. It doesn't make them inconsistent. It shows how complex the human mind, the human heart, and the human soul are.
Because people act out of character all the time.
Exactly.
It's not a thing people just don't do.
Exactly. So in the case of Misato, we have somebody who is so convicted, who is so steadfast, who, you know, hot-headed, but still like has a very clear moral code. I find it deeply fascinating that she so happily works for a motherfucker like Commander Ikari.
Means to an end, I guess.
Means to an end, but also, what does that represent for you? What does this mean for you to be one of the right hands of a man just like your own father? What does it mean for her to take this very motherly, or more of a big sister, if anything, kind of, but like to take this very guardianship role with Shinji? That you know what he's dealing with his deadbeat fucking super genius dad.
Great tale.
You know what he's feeling. So you open yourself up to do everything for Shinji that you know you needed when you were in his place. And I think that there is a tenderness that Misato has with Shinji, that now that we have this context that her father was basically Commander Ikari, you know, in a different font.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It says so much about her character that she's willing to work for this motherfucker. The psychological underpinnings of why she would be okay with it and maybe even love it. And it also gives greater context and makes her relationship with Shinji all the more beautiful. So I just absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved that. And fuck Commander Ikari.
That was funny.
But yeah, that's all my notes for episode 12. You said, is that all your notes? You damn near have an hour-long episode for a one-episode watch.
We've done that before.
I know.
Though, before we end it, I am just going to say, there's one thing you did not mention, and it really surprises me.
What's that?
What they have on the boat.
What did they have on the boat?
I can't tell you that, but you never brought it up.
Oh, is it just that there is something on the boat? I mean, I didn't realize there was something on the boat. I just kind of assumed they were going out there to do research. I'm assuming it has something to do with the atom molecule, whatever the fuck.
Fetus.
Huh?
The little fetus thing.
Yeah. I assumed it has something to do with that. I didn't know if they had it on the ship with them or not.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I assumed they were doing research. I didn't realize they took anything out that way, which makes them dumber than I anticipated.
Put that back. I love that woman on TikTok.
From, or so help me.
But yeah, that's going to bring this week to a close, as Jarod said.
I have a twofer for the next episode, right?
Do you have a twofer? Do you? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what? Is it 13 or 4? What one's this?
This is 12, so it'd be 13,
yeah.
14.
13, 14. So that would be the end of season 1 and the start of season 2.
Okay. That checks out. I did see the episode description with the, there's an angel that gets into Nerve.
But yeah.
I mean, I almost always forget the description before I watch the episode next.
I mean, I'm just more like Netflix. Just like typical.
The angels bring the battle to Nerve and suffice, but I found that whenever I try to do like a little like promotional blurb for an episode, I find myself writing in the voice of the prologue of every episode of the Clone Wars.
I knew you were going to say that, yeah. And then, fun fact, that was the one that came into my head.
Yeah. The angel attack. The angels have brought the fight to Nerve to off against the heroic pilots of the Evas. How will Shinji Ikari stack up against this sinister threat?
Classic propaganda voice.
I write my promo tweets for Ionized Bastards in that voice intentionally. And I realized that I think I'm just kind of doing it naturally with how much Clone Wars I watched as a kid. Yeah.
But yeah, go follow Jarod on the Twitter. All the good stuff. The link tree is on the screen.
Nerd Academy Podcast. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, the Ionized Bastard season 2 finale is actually out. We had to reschedule and it broke my heart. Dan got screwed over by work. And that was nobody's fault but Dan's employers. So yeah, hopefully it's out by now. And you guys get to watch me fight for my life in the Vera Casino, blade to blade. And again, Nerd Academy Podcast, where by the time you're watching this, our review for the finale of The Acolyte will be out. So go check that out.
Yeah, go check it out. Yeah. I forgot we're a week ahead now.
Yeah, and then at some point, I'm sure I'll also be on Comic Book Cast around that time to talk about The Acolyte as well.
Yes, we will be talking about The Acolyte on CBC, yeah. When does The Boys finish?
I think in a week or two.
Because we'll also be talking about The Boys, so...
Yeah, we'll be talking about The Boys, we'll be talking about Acolyte, all of those things over at the Nerd Academy as well. I plan on doing a season review on TNAP for House of the Dragon, dipping my toe into Thrones stuff, which will be fun. The only
Did you
time
never watch Game of Thrones?
I have, I'm just talking about like dipping my toe into talking about it on a microphone.
Okay.
Which is a thing I've never done. It was one of those things that I'm like, I don't feel quite qualified to do that.
That's fair.
There are some things that I've just there are a number of things I have punted on when it comes to nerd shit that I'm like, I don't know if people need to hear my thoughts on this. I don't know if I'm qualified for that one.
That's fair.
I almost did that with Dune. I almost punted on Dune But Joel was like, I really want to talk about Dune. And I was like, fuck it.
How can the Star Wars channel not talk about Dune? That just feels wrong.
You're right. You are right. And I do love Dune. I do love me some Dune.
I still need to see part 2.
Oh my god, it's so fucking good. Bro.
I've been really bad this year for movies. I've not watched a single thing.
I have not seen as many movies this year as I wanted to. I started off super fucking strong, and then I got my new job, or not my, it's not new anymore. I've been there for like 4 months, but I started that new gig, and because I have like a management position, and they don't give me unlimited hours, but they don't stop me from just showing up on days when I'm supposed to be off because Papa likes overtime. So I've not gotten to see movies at the clip I want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, if things go away, I'm hoping they do. I might kind of relent on my aggressive coming in on my days offness to see some fucking movies.
Nice. So yeah, if you enjoyed everything, like, comment, subscribe, do the good stuff. Tell us if you're watching, if you're following along, and we'll catch you next week for the back-to-back, the twofer. I think the only twofer for the next month, I think.
Oh God.
I mean, what you can take away from that is that each one it's a banger.
There has been an episode I disliked. I just have enjoyed doing the twofers a lot.
I know.
But yeah,
there is a reason, because otherwise we would be here for like 8 hours, and it'll take me 6 years to upload. So,
touche. We are making great time on this show, though.
We are. Yeah.
Like I said, I think we might be we might be able to pull this into port before the end of the summer.
I mean, if we carry on how we have been the last 2, then
at the very least, we might get done recording it early.
Yeah.
We might get done recording Pro and Noob early, but yeah.
Because I had it, if we did it week to week, I had it like November. But that's for like everything, not just this show. So.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to come into about 22 episodes of this show.
Hell yeah. Well, you guys have a nice day.
Hey guys, thanks for watching or listening, whatever flavor you prefer. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the good stuff so you don't miss an episode. And of course, leave a comment, tell us what you thought about this episode of Neon Genesis. If you watched it before or you haven't, I generally love to hear what people think about this show. If you're following along with us, that's great. If not, and you watched it before, tell us what you think about this one specific episode in particular, because we are trying to keep Jarod spoiler free as much as possible. And yeah, any help is greatly appreciated for this little channel project we're working on here, trying to build this up. And of course, we can't do that without you guys. So yeah, any help is greatly appreciated, and we'll catch you all for the next one. So take care.